Good morning. I think I have everything set up here. I was having a couple technological issues, so I'm running a couple minutes behind when I wanted to. But that's how it goes, right? Some days. And I just want to say happy Monday to everybody. Hope you guys all had a great weekend. And today I am chatting about judgment. So judgment of ourselves and judgment of others. Judgment of ourselves is just as important as judgment of others, but we're going to talk about a few different things of what happens and why we actually judge people. So judgment is actually separation from love. So if you want to if you find yourself judging right away, quick fix, just go back to love. Go back to a loving feeling, thought. Try to spin that perception of whatever judgment you're making on how you can spin it into a loving thought towards that person or circumstance. And that is going to help you a lot. And we want to really get away from the guilt we feel from judging others. And so when we are judging others, that guilt is projected back onto ourselves because we feel crappy that we've judged other people or circumstances or whatever. And usually those are wounds that are within ourselves that we need to heal those wounds. And that's why we're judging people. And so we use judgment to protect ourselves from the pain of feeling unworthy, which is, really at the seed of a lot of us, just working on our worthiness issues. And we're all worthy of everything great that we want and we love, and we need to keep that in the back of our minds at all times. And so when you find yourself judging somebody, really just take a step back and look at how it is why you're judging them and what it is in your life that you're actually judging. And I want you to think too, I don't know if any of you guys know about Abraham Hicks or follow Abraham Hicks, or it's a little bit out there, or I felt it was at first, but yet we were just talking with friends the other day about how you're sucked into the vortex of Abraham Hicks, and she literally uses the word vortex, and I was like, I don't know what that means when I first listened to it. But a belief is just a thought that you think over and over and over, that you keep thinking. You've made that thought. You've made that belief. That isn't a law of the world. You can change that belief just as quick as you had the first belief in the first place, if that makes any sense. So, when you're kind of down on yourself, oh, I didn't get all of that stuff done today, or I could have vacuumed, let's say. I should have vacuumed the house today. Who says you should have vacuumed the house today? Who cares? Does it really make a huge difference? No, it doesn't make a huge difference at the end of the day. Instead of, think of something that you did do that day that you can celebrate, because that's the part that's important. And I want you to keep in mind too that judgment is a habit. So a habit is a neural pathway that's happened in your brain that you are just used to. So there are neural pathways that you've continued to act the same way or think the same thought. And so it's just natural that you're going to go that way. So you have to retrain that and kind of rethink those things, and you have to keep practicing that, because you didn't get that way just thinking that thought one time. So it takes practice the other way too when you're switching it around. And so whatever we resent or dislike in someone is a direct representation of something we don't like about ourselves. So do think about that too when you find yourself that you're judging somebody else. Usually it's something that we're feeling unworthy about. And so it literally lowers your vibration mentally and physically. Hey, Alyssa. So behind judgment is our inadequacy. And it's shame. And so shame is something we'll talk about another day too, because that is a huge thing. And the root of all judgment is, one, that unworthiness, and two, it is a fear of not being good enough. So being aware of judgments or comparison is actually, when you bring that awareness, that's actually self-love and self-care. And so you want to be super aware. So when you find yourself judging somebody today, or a situation, or even somebody on your feed, which we do all the time, we're either judging ourselves or we're judging them. And that is a projection. So I really want you to think about it, why you're projecting that or where that's stemming from, and just take the moment to think about it throughout the day. And when we're feeling really happy and complete with ourselves, we aren't actually judging people. And so if you find yourself in a really kind of judgy way in the next few days, just like become aware of it, and that can help switch it just as fast. And one thing that I will say that I got from Gabby Bernstein a couple of years ago is, I had to look up the exact quote because I don't say it the exact same way as I did when I started reading the book a couple of years ago, but just being aware that you're doing the judgment and then stopping that judgment and saying, today I will choose something different. I forgive this thought. And that's a big thing too. You need to forgive yourself. Don't judge yourself for judging. Like, that's just carrying on crazy and silly. And so just think, I will think a different thought, and just come from that place of love again. And that will really help you. The other thing I wanted to chat about quick was that I'm doing a training on Wednesday night all about self-care, self-love, shame, guilt, forgiveness, kind of quite a few things that we're just going to briefly touch on. And I'm going to give you some tools and tips, not trips. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know and I will add you into that group. You guys go have a great day.